Good morning, welcome to Lift class. So today we're going to be doing upper body strength with dumbbells and some core work as well. So the plan is to go through, the first set is 5 exercises. We're going to do 10 reps of everything, repeat it 3 times through. The second set is 4 exercises. One of those is a combination exercise, and we'll go through that as well, 10 reps, 3 times through. And then I've got ab work, core work, right? At the end of it that we will just push through on repeat, okay? So you're gonna need a set of weights for shoulder press, which is an overhead press, bicep curls, bent tricep extensions, bent over tricep extensions, bent over flies, and no weights for push-ups. We're gonna be doing push-ups today. And then that's our first set. And then our second set is gonna be front raises. We're gonna go into hammer curls, so we're gonna keep with the thumbs up from a front raise to a hammer curl. And then we're gonna go into a bent over. So kind of put that pressure on your thigh, or if you have a bench or chair nearby. We're gonna do, keeping the shoulders squared off to the ground, a row extend. That's gonna be our combination move, working our back and our tricep, okay? And then we'll lay down on the floor and do chest fly. So if that tells you what kind of weights you need out today, that's why I went over that with you, okay? So you kind of know what's ahead of you, you kind of know what set of weights that you need. I have a medium set for the most part right here in front of me, okay? So heaviest weight's gonna be your shoulder press. Yeah, that's your heaviest weight. Hopefully, okay? If you have any shoulder impingements, then go a little bit lighter. I'm also going to remind you as we do shoulder presses or anything with the shoulders to try to keep your shoulders out of your ears. So try to keep them creeping up here. Try to keep them down and away. And to work the muscle and think about pushing with the muscle and not just rolling through the joint. It does make a difference when you start really focusing on the muscle versus the joint itself, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and just warm up a little bit that upper body. So we're gonna just open and shut with our elbows tucked in tight. And now just start warming up some of our joints in our shoulders, okay? So, warming up our shoulder joints. Good morning, it's early for me. It might be for you, or it might just be a good time for you. This might be the time that you wake up. During the summer, it gets a little bit more difficult, those mornings for me, but that's just because my family's night owls. I've told you guys that before, but we're getting better. I told them last night, I said, kids, I'm going to bed. Are you okay putting yourselves to bed? And they said, sure. And then, you know, shortly after, they woke me up to say goodnight, which I kind of figured was going to happen. All right, let's go ahead and take a back stroke here, one arm at a time. And as you reach back, I want you to open up that chest. I don't know what I did yesterday to deserve a tight chest, but right through there. All that plank work and our flow from PiYo, I think. All right, big reaches back. And then let's take both arms round forward, just like you're doing the butterfly stroke, okay? So I'm coming around, rounding out my back, coming around, rounding out my back, okay? Listening to my bones crack this morning. They creak, just like an old house, that's okay. All right, let's ring it on out. So you're gonna have one palm up, one palm down, And we're just gonna wring out, just like you're wringing out a towel. Okay? Then take the arms down and back, open up the chest there. Oh, is anybody else? I don't know why, it's just really tight right here. All I did was the turbo and plyo yesterday too, so I don't know. I've done cardio for like 2 days, I didn't even lift weights yesterday, so not quite sure where this stiffness is coming from. All right, one arm across. Ooh, yeah, so tight, so tight. Probably was good I rested. All right, so you guys are all set with our workout today. You know what we're doing. No surprises. We're just lifting, okay? All right, let's just go ahead and begin. I think that we've got enough loosened up joints and we should be ready to go. So let's begin with our shoulder presses. We're gonna come out to goal posts. Press up overhead so your biceps are next to your ears. Remember with this, we're not pressing straight up and arching back. We're coming slightly forward. Okay, once your weight's in your hands, you'll see slightly forward. Adjust your stance as needed, keep your core tight. We've got 10 reps, so go ahead and rack those weights, and here we go. We're up for 10, 9, 8, 7, lift with the muscle, okay? Focus on that first. Okay, then we're gonna come down for a full curl, just meaning that we're gonna pin our elbows into the side. We're gonna take the weights up to our shoulders and then back down for 10, okay? Ready, set, let's go. So one of the things I want you to be mindful of is standing stable and steady and not swinging your body or those weights with momentum, okay? See the difference? Make sure that you're holding your body tight, core tight. I'm staggering my stance. You can hold right here, a little bend in those knees, okay? And then we're going into bent over tricep extensions. With this one, stick with the same weight or go one increment lighter than what you were just using. You're gonna take a little bend at the knees, stick out your chest, hike those weights up, and then we're gonna extend back and squeeze. Same thing here. You'll find you can throw those weights and swing, or you can hold your body steady, okay? Give me your 10. If you haven't done them yet. Now, I don't know if you noticed, I don't know if you can even hear me, but I am exhaling on the contraction. Now we're gonna go into bent over fly, so we're gonna get even more bent over. Chest to the floor, squeezing our shoulder blades together. Now I'm gonna show you just from the back what that looks like. Squeezing my shoulder blades together, my arms are coming out in a T. All right, so you wanna really work that midline of the back. Your blades pulling together, okay? Because I know sometimes this can be a confusing one. But we really want to squeeze and start the movement with our back, okay? So we're gonna get that bend over, let the arms just straight down from the shoulders, and then we're gonna squeeze and fly, okay? For your 10. So the contraction was on the way up, and I don't know if you heard me breathing, but I was breathing on the way up and out, okay? Come down for 10 push-ups. This can be any kind of push-up you want, knees or toes, wide or narrow, you choose, okay? 10 of them, making sure that you're pushing away from the floor with your chest, that it's coming down and then back up. It's not your nose, it's not your forehead, it's your chest, then push. I want you to think about pushing out of your armpits or squeezing your armpits. That will help you really focus on the chest muscle, okay? Keeping your back nice and flat. And that was the end of the set, okay? We're gonna go right back to the top and we're gonna repeat this 2 more times. So finish off what you got there, grabbing your weights for your shoulder press. If it was too light the first time through, go a little heavier, okay? If you don't have anything heavier, I want you to squeeze, hold, slow it on down. Okay, so let's say that, let's say you're using 10s and you really could use 12s or 15s. I want you to think slow, 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 squeeze that muscle down, down, down. You're basically gonna keep more time under tension with a lighter weight while you're still getting a good amount of work. Does that make sense? Okay. Rule of thumb with weights that are too light and you want them to be heavier. All right, ready, set, do your 10. So, exhale on the way up. Okay, and keeping those elbows at shoulder height as you press up. So we're, again, keeping that tension in the shoulder joint, or the shoulder muscle, not in the joint. Okay, and lifting, pulling away from our ears. Next up, we've got full curl for 10. Okay, so again, get your stance, get yourself nice and steady and stable. Elbows pinned into your side. Work that bicep, the front of the arm. Exhale on the way up. Core tight. And then we're going to come into our bent over tricep extensions. So you're just going to take a little bend at the knees, a big bend at the waist, a big hike up like cricket wings, and extend, squeeze. Extend, squeeze. Keep those elbows pinned in. So for me, with that one, I'm trying to really keep my arms narrow. Some of you might be able to get in even closer like this. That's awesome. My back is just so wide, and my makeup of my bones, my frame, is wide. So I try really hard to stay narrow. I want you guys to try to stay narrow too. So I know it looks like I'm coming out wide. I'm really trying not to. It just looks that way. Bent over flies are next. Okay. So again, a little bend at the knees, a big bend at the waist, squeezing those shoulder blades together in the back, initiating the movement with your back muscles. Once you do 10 of those, you're coming down for your 10 push-ups, okay? On your knees or on your toes, push your armpits away from the floor, squeeze. Chest comes first. So find a focal point just ahead of you. I would rather, and I've said this before, I'll say it again, I'd rather you come down to your knees and get full range of motion and work that whole chest muscle than to be up on your toes with bad form fighting for it or sagging like a wet noodle. Okay, so we're gonna go back. Somebody said the other day, they were like, I love girl push-ups, whoever named them those is amazing. And I was like, because I just don't think we can even call them girl push-ups, just push-ups on your knees, right? But I was just like, yeah, you know what? Whoever made those up is pretty amazing. Doesn't matter what we call them. For me personally, with my shoulder issues, it helps so much to be able to do those on my knees. Okay, let's go ahead and work those shoulders. Press down and away from your ears as you lift that weight up for 10 reps. Okay, adjust your stance if you need to. Make sure your pelvic is tilted toward your chin and that you're not arching back and using your back to take the weight, okay? I want your core tight as you press. Keeping that timer tension nice and high with the weights. After you're done with your shoulder presses, we're coming up for our bicep curls for 10, okay? So hopefully by now, you're already feeling a little fatigue, right? You're already feeling those muscles working. And this last set of round one, you're fighting for those weights to be curled up, okay? If not, heavier weights, people. This workout will be up, so you can do it again, as long as you have the link. okay? Forgot to tell you also, if you want to play your own music, please feel free to. I'm just playing something in the background. We're going to go into our bent over tricep extensions after you do those 10 bicep curls. Yep, they were bicep curls. All right, so we're going to take a little bend in the waist. Sorry, a little bend at the knees, big bend at the waist. Hike up those weights, and we're going to extend and squeeze. Extend and squeeze. Now, if your weights are not heavier here, you're going to hold and then release. If they're not heavy enough, okay, hold and then release. We should always do a little bit of a squeeze anyways, but just extra if it's not quite as heavy as you'd like. But always should be a squeeze right there. Not a swing, but a squeeze and a contraction on that muscle. Okay? Bent over flies are next. Little bend at the knees, big bend at the waist. Squeeze those blades together. Exhale. Feel good? Feel fine? It's working? All right, so then we're gonna get down for our push-ups and then brand new set, working everything all over again, okay? Getting some different angles on the muscles and working them to fatigue, okay? That's how we shred the muscle to rebuild again and come back stronger. So let's go ahead and do our push-ups. Exhale on the way up. After we do those 10, we are coming to front raises. So we're going to stand, feet about hip width apart. If you need to stagger your stance, do so. We're going to take the weights from the thighs to the shoulders. Okay? Again, it's just a matter of keeping that time under tension. If we fully release it here and swing back and up, then we start swinging. We release all contraction. We're swinging back up again. So if you can keep your weights just right in front of those thighs, or maybe the heads of the dumbbells come right next to the thighs, and we're going to come straight up, release, come down, don't totally release that contraction, okay? So we've got 10 there, and then we go into 10 hammer curls. So we're going to keep with the thumbs up, hammers up for these next two exercises, okay? So let's go ahead and start with our front raises for 10. Grab air and water if we need it, and then let's get going, okay? Ready, set, exhale, inhale. Just to shoulder height. I don't want you going any higher than that. Arms are parallel. So real quick with that, and you'll remember it for next time, again, your shoulders are staying down out of your ears. They're not creeping up. You're thinking away with the weight, and you're keeping everything down here. It's really easy as we get tired and tense to just lift. See how I lifted that shoulder up into my ear? Okay, I'll do it again. Watch that shoulder creeps up. So it's really easy to do that. I want you to keep it down. See the difference? Arm comes out. This stays down. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but maybe if I come closer. Ready? So if I'm gonna lift and my shoulder comes up into my ear, that's compensating. Okay, see that's lifting. And now I'm gonna lift just the arm and keep my shoulder down and depressed. Do you see the difference? Okay, so I need you to remember that when you're doing your workout. Okay, next up, hammers. Okay? 10 of them. Elbows pinned in tight, hammerheads come up towards the shoulders, so side profile here, they're coming up towards the shoulders, staying pinned in tight. Again, control those weights without swinging them and swaying your whole body, okay? You're gonna grab a heavy-ish weight, so you gotta split the difference on this. Usually when you're doing a back row, I would tell you to pull your heaviest weight, but we're gonna pull and extend. So I'd like you, if you can, go up a little bit higher than you did for the tricep extensions, just so we can get the back involved as well. You're just gonna play around. Maybe keep an extra weight nearby to see if you need to switch that out. We're gonna go 10 on one side, 10 on the other, okay? So I'm gonna use my thigh, not my knee. I'm gonna square off my hips and my shoulders to the ground. Okay, so squared off, hips and shoulders to the ground. I'm gonna pull and extend. I do not open my body, okay? It's not a lawnmower pull, opening your body this way. Everything stays squared off. It's a pull, extend, 410, pull, extend. Check your form and make sure you're not opening up that shoulder. Now I'm sweating you. Hike it up there, get that elbow up there. And once you do your 10, you're merely going to switch and do the other side. So if you have a bench nearby or a chair, you can put your hand in that chair too. Okay, it doesn't have to be your own thigh. But if you can, just stagger one leg back. The leg with the weight in it can go back behind you, okay? So you're working your back and the back of that arm. Squeeze at the top. I need to change the song. I forgot this is one of them that I don't like. All right, and then we're coming down on the floor for chest fly once you finish those 10, okay? So for chest fly, we're merely gonna hold the weights, pretend I'm laying on the ground, and you're looking above me. Weights are over my chest. Little bend in those elbows, see the little bend? Coming out and in. Out and in. My arms are just gonna hover over the floor, never actually touch it, and come back in. I want to squeeze between my armpits again. Those muscles through here, okay? So get down on the ground, and let's do that, okay? So I'm gonna show you from this angle. As I lay down, I'm gonna push the weight straight up over my chest. I need you to adjust to your lower back so it's on the floor. So you saw I gave a little pelvic tilt and then lowered my spine, okay? We're just gonna open and close. Open and close. Your knuckles are over the midline of your chest, okay? So you're not over your nose or your neck or your stomach, midline of your chest. Open and squeeze. If your shoulder's bothering you, bend your elbow just a little bit more, and you might have to lower your weights just a little bit further towards your belly button, okay? Because sometimes you're up over your nose and you don't know it. So try to get over the chest. Don't go over your belly button, just lower it towards that direction, okay? But try to get those weights right over the chest, like you're coming out at a letter T, and then back up, right at the shoulder, okay? That's important with your shoulders to work the right muscle if something's bothering you. That was it. Those are our moves. So we're going to do it all over again from the top, starting with front raises. If that weight felt good, stick with it. If not, change it, okay? You've got your 10 reps. Remember to paint that arch, paint that angle. Keep your shoulders out of your ears and get nice and long with those arms. Knuckles to me or away from you. Once you finish those front raises, you're going to go into your hammer curls, hammer heads up, if you think of it that way, okay? And you're just going to rep out 10 with your elbows pinned in super tight to your side. Control it, don't sway it, don't rock it. Okay, and after you do those 10, one arm at a time, we're going to row and extend. And I do have a bench nearby here, so I'm going to pull this out. This is, sorry for the noise, my favorite bench. One year for my birthday and Christmas, I asked for like Amazon gift cards, and I bought this for myself. I love this bench. It's been really multi-purpose for me and my family. It's compact so that when we are lifting and using the bench for work, it's awesome. You can tell that it's a Reebok brand. I love it. There may be some generic brands out there too, but works really well for everything that I've done with exercise, okay? So again, square off those shoulders, row and extend, row and extend. And I am not paid by Reebok to advertise for them. This is just me telling you person to person. But a chair works just fine, an ottoman, anything nearby that you have. Back of a couch. All right, and after you do 10 on one side, make sure you get 10 on the other. Remember, you're squaring off your hips and shoulders. You're not opening as you row, okay? Everything stays down. If you had eyeballs on your shoulders and on your hips, they'd be facing the same direction. They're parallel, okay? Especially those shoulders. Okay. Squeeze the back of that arm. Core tight. And we are already down to the ground for chest fly, okay? With chest fly too, if you're not feeling it, sometimes the weight's not heavy enough. I have 15s here today because I haven't done chest flies in probably since last week, right? But typically, if my legs are on the ground and I'm doing chest fly, I'm at 20 or 25. Okay, so that just tells you how heavy you can press with your chest. Okay, so again, lower that lower back to the floor. Weight straight up over the shoulders. They're parallel. You're making the number 11. Then you're going to come out and squeeze, press in. Out and squeeze, press in. Okay. My whole point was just that we can squeeze a lot more with our chest muscles than we give ourselves credit for. So if you're not feeling it, it might be because your weight's not heavy enough and you're not challenging yourself, okay? Weightlifting is all about challenging yourself. It's not about like going like, oh, this is a good weight, I can lift it. You have to find the weight that you can, like that you struggle at 10 reps to lift, okay? Unless you're just going through the motions to tone a little bit, but if you're trying to build some muscle and strength, you gotta keep slowly incrementing higher each time you come back. Now, it doesn't mean that last week you lifted like front raises, let's say you did 8s, then this week you're definitely bumping up to 10s. It's a process. So maybe you've lifted, like let's say you did this workout twice a week for 4 weeks. You definitely, after maybe 3 weeks, need to be trying to bump up the weights a little bit. Does that make sense? So it's not like an immediate thing. All right, but slowly. I can do the same workout every week and slowly start to increment. Even if it's not every exercise, it's just some of them. All right, here we go, front raises for the last set. Reaching out of your ears, out of your shoulders. Top front of your shoulders are working right here. Right to shoulder height. Core tight. Okay? And then we're going into hammers. Hammer curls, okay? Elbows pinned in tight. Really should be feeling this by the end there, okay? Especially third set. We're going into row extend. I'm gonna go a little bit lighter in this one. I'm here still, I'm not leaving you, promise. And if this wasn't enough, if you wanted to go back and do a whole other set of everything at the end, you're welcome to if you need a little bit more. Again, if maybe your weights weren't heavy enough, okay? Go ahead and row and extend, keeping your shoulders squared off to the floor, okay? Elbow stays tight to the body, raise right past the rib cage, pull that weight up towards the bottom of your rib cage and then extend it. And then you're gonna switch and do the other side, okay? You can still see me if I come over here, right? Barely, but I'm here, okay. It's okay, you don't need to see me, you just need to see you. I am going through this with you as your model and facilitator, but you're doing the work, okay? I'm reminding you of all the cues of your body. Core tight, shoulders to the floor, okay? Roll that elbow like a cricket wing straight up, elbow in tight to that rib cage. All right, you guys, that was your upper body strength, chest flies. Then that was your upper body strength. When you come down to the floor, we're gonna actually stay down. And you really, if you have an option to use a weight on 2 of the exercises, I'll show you what they are. But if you have a mat down on the floor, or if you have a mat nearby, make sure you grab it, and we're gonna stay down after this rep, or after this set of chest flies, okay? Just so you know what we have ahead of us, that you can stay on the ground this morning. You can stay down. The other thing too is I think I do have some like HIIT routines, maybe like 20-30 minutes on YouTube channel. So if you do this, if you lift and you're kind of like you want a little bit more cardio or something like that, go do a HIIT video, a HIIT workout. It's there for you, okay? We will be doing some HIIT tomorrow in lower body and core, so don't, use up all of your energy today, but save a little for tomorrow. Go ahead right into your chest flies. Squeeze the midline of your chest like you're squeezing a pencil right between. Squeezing right from those armpits on out. All right, so I keep wanting to say leg exercises. It's our core exercises. We're going to start with a leg drop, and we're going to start with our hands underneath our sit bones and our backs flat on the floor. You guys can make a little V if you want, or it's up to you. If you want to try to keep it out of the hip flexors, keep a V. If you can handle it, you're going to keep your feet straight, okay? And point those toes. You're going to lower, hover, and lift. Now, if you can, I want you to add a little bit extra by doing your head, neck, and shoulders right here like this, okay? Count out 10 of these, okay? Nice and slow and controlled. And then I was going to tell you, if you want to advance it, make it a little bit harder. If you're one of those people, you can hold a weight and do the same thing. So that would be the reason to have a weight nearby. Just 10, okay? Because we're going to go through this set a few times, just like we did with the upper body, okay? So after you do your 10 of those, you're going to, with or without a weight, do 10 toe crunches. So you're going to crunch to your toes for 10, okay? If you do it with a weight, you're just going to hold that weight straight up over the shoulders. Try to flex your feet and really point those toes towards you, okay? And reach up for your 10. With or without a weight. If your flexibility isn't there, bend the knees. Okay, so you do that, and then next up, we've got scissors, okay? Pretty sure they're scissors. Yep. So we're gonna count out 1, 1, 2, 2. It goes like this. Reach your opposite arm to opposite leg, point that toe. It's 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10. Hug yourself. We're gonna flip on over to a plank. We're gonna do a plank leg lift, okay? So, on your hands or on your elbows, you choose. I think I'm gonna try my elbows the first set, okay? Straight line from head to heel. Feet come about mat distance, like the width of your mat distance wide. You're gonna lift the heel and squeeze the butt. Each one counts as 1 rep. We're going to 10, trying to keep yourself in a straight line, trying not to lift your booty up in the air. That is the goal, that is the challenge. So I'm squeezing my core tight as I squeeze my glute too. So you've got opposing muscle groups, your stomach and your glutes fighting against each other a little bit there, okay, squeezing. We're back again, we're doing it all over again. 4 exercises, 10 reps. We're just going right at it, okay? So with or without your weight, you've got a leg drop. I gave you 3 options. Start with your hands underneath your sit bones, lift and lower. Then if you've got that, lift your head, neck, and shoulders. And then if you've got that, add the weight, okay? So we'll start with the legs up, everything up, and then we drop and we lift for 10, okay? Control it. So you are using your lower abs, and then if you lift your chest, you're using your upper abs as well. And so you've really got a you really have a really nice, I keep saying really, you have a nice contraction there. Okay, next up, 10 toe touches. The legs up or legs are bent, and we're gonna reach with a weight or reach with your fingers towards your toes. Okay, next up are the scissors. We count 1, 1, 2, 2, okay? So your elbows are gonna stay out wide. You're gonna extend one leg up and one leg out, floating over the floor, okay? Excuse me while I take a yawning breath. Okay, I'm not bored, I promise, I'm just waking up still. Okay, so we're gonna reach opposite leg. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Keep those elbows out wide. 6, 6, 7, 7. Straight legs if you can. 9, 9, 10, 10. Hug those knees. Roll it on over to plank. High plank, elbow plank, you choose. If you're in a high plank, your hands are just beneath your shoulders, fingertips are forward, and we're going to take our feet about the distance of your mat, lift and squeeze, alternating legs, and each one counts as 1 rep, okay? One more set of everything all over again, and then you're done, okay? We're almost there. We'll stretch out the upper body a little bit, and then you're on your way. So lifting days should be pretty short, okay? It shouldn't take forever. They probably take a little bit longer because I explain and talk, which hopefully you don't have a problem with. I really want to make sure that you're learning as we go through, okay? It's important to me to educate and teach. Otherwise, you're not going to know the rhyme or reason and what you're doing. All right, let's go ahead and lower and lift. Cool thing is that if I teach you, you can go teach somebody else, and then the domino effect, the ripple, continues, right? Or you can teach your kids. Because most of the time, teenagers do not know what they're doing when they're lifting. They watch some dude at the gym, sometimes even their gym teacher or their coach, and sometimes they don't know what they're doing other than what they were taught to do as well, okay? So, sometimes you get really good ones, sometimes you don't. But anyways, it's important to teach this next generation how to take care of their bodies and how to use proper form. It's important, okay? Because that helps us all get stronger, avoid injury, and just live a healthy life. So, let's go ahead and toes up, crunch it for your 10. It all starts with you leading that healthy example, right? So you set the model there watching you, and whether they join you or not, that's on them, okay? But you're doing your part by showing up for yourself every day. It's all about you right now, okay? So let's go ahead and count out 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10. Hug those knees into your chest, roll up over to your plank, high plank, your elbow plank. And you know that you're a better person person when you take this time for yourself. It's not selfish, it's self-love, and if you can love yourself first, you have love for everybody else beyond you, okay? But if you can't love yourself and give yourself this time, you're not gonna be any good for anybody else around you, right? It's about putting on your oxygen mask first in order to be available and alive for everybody else around you. So I want you to remember that, especially in those days that you want to just skip it. I want you to show up and say, no, it's my oxygen mask time. I gotta take care of me first. Everything else can be put on hold and wait, okay? All right, let's do those leg lifts for 10 and then we're done. So tilt your pelvic towards your chin and really squeeze your abs in tight as you squeeze that booty and lift with a flat flexed foot. Heel lifts up, okay? Squeeze the butt. And when you're done, lower down in child's pose. So widen out those knees, tailbone to your heels, and then walk your hands forward, stretching out your back, okay? So if you can walk your hands forward and pull your bottom towards your heels, you're gonna make some length through your back, even through your arms, okay? And then we're gonna come lay down on our bellies. That feel good. Okay, you're gonna take your arms out, goalposts. Take one hand, inch it forward just like a couple inches, right? Then we're gonna take the other hand and push the floor away from us, elbow into the ground, okay? And we're just gonna open up our chest, open up our shoulder, right there, okay? So all I did was I came from here, so you can watch again. Walk these fingertips up, kept that elbow in the ground, and pushed myself over. Now this is as far as I can go. You might be able to get a lot further, really open up that chest a lot more, okay? And that's fine. It should open up your shoulder joint and your chest, okay? And then we're gonna switch. Walk those fingertips forward, keep the elbow pushed into the floor. This side, I think I can go a little bit further on. So there, you can see that I'm opening up my hips a little bit more, and which then opens up my chest a little bit more, and that shoulder girdle, okay? So I know I say this again and again and again, it's because I have this issue myself. If you have pinches and impingements on your shoulders, like things are pinching, you gotta open up that chest sometimes, open up those joints, or sorry, open up this muscle through here in order to release some of that, okay, in your shoulders. Go ahead and drop your shoulder down and take your arm across, okay? I think that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. It makes sense if you start stretching it and you're like, oh, yeah, it's starting to loosen up a little bit. It's not just about the top of the shoulder, or, you know, a lot of times we want to just do this with our arms and our shoulders and our traps. It's about opening up the chest too, especially when you're plank a lot, which my workouts we tend to be. Holding up your own body weight's important, right? Think about all the yoga that you do, or like chaturangas or tricep push-ups. Do I need to tell you all the plank stuff we do? You already know, right? Go ahead and roll your shoulders down and back and away. A lot of times we're doing a lot of work that is inconspicuous. We don't realize we're working those muscles as much as we are, right? All right, so pull those shoulders down and back. Get them out of your ears. Open up that chest a little bit, okay? And then I want you to round out, clasp the fingers, stay center. Open up those shoulder blades. C, curve out your body. So you're making like a C, and then you can take it to the side, open up that blade a little bit more. So between the flies, bent over flies, and then take it to your other side. And our rows, we really got those shoulder blades, right? That muscle right behind the shoulder blades that comes right through here. Our lats, which are like hard to get, okay? We also worked the rear part of that shoulder, okay? You did awesome. Let's go ahead and inhale. Get on with your day. Thank you for joining me. Walk a little taller. Good posture. Extra water today, okay? And have an awesome one. We'll be back here again for boot camp. So like I said, we'll be working some different muscle groups. I want to be able to let what we work today rest a little bit. This workout is available for you to do again. Just either repeat it right now, some of the sets. I wouldn't say repeat the whole thing all over again. Or wait 2 days and then you can repeat it again, like on Thursday if you wanted to, but let the muscles rest a little bit and just let them rest. Have a good one, you guys. Thanks again for waking up and doing this Tuesday morning workout with me.